Anusha ma'am, are you good? Anusha ma'am, can you hear me? Ah, yes. Nice, nice. Let's wait for others to join. 6 is the time to start the class, but my interns are so advanced that they start joining at 6. So I'll have to wait. So talented interns I have in my batch. Okay, anyone has any doubts regarding the session we did yesterday? Have you solved it? Prashant sir, did the practice? Prashant sir, can you hear me? अभी नहीं बोलेगा कोई भी है जब मैं पूछ रहा हूँ. Aman sir, you did the practice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dishan sir, you did the practice or not? Dishan sir, can you hear me or not?
Yes, sir. I am joining from second device. Just a second.
Okay, okay, no issues. Okay, Shivam sir, did the practice or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see how many more people I have. Okay. Ayushi ma'am, you did the practice or not? Ayushi ma'am, can you hear me? Ayushi ma'am, can you hear me? Okay, I'll talk to her in chats. Okay, no sir, I couldn't do it. Why? You wanted to learn practically. That until and unless you won't practice it, you won't get the things into your head. Okay, because whatever I am teaching here is what is used into the CTF. Okay, in the last batch I didn't had that much of time to train them because I got only 1 or 2 weeks to train the last batch, but still whatever I told them, it was used when I was instructing them to solve the CTS. All right, so until and unless you won't practice it, it is not beneficial for you. अंकुश सर, प्रैक्टिस की करके देखा?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ, गुड. ओके, आई हैड कोमल मैम प्रैक्टिस की थी? Okay, nice. So just do practice, okay, because it is what is useful. So let's start. Just a minute. Okay, now let me clear you something. See, what we did was we covered three topics yesterday. Okay, I'm not talking about the ports we attacked, I am talking about the topics we covered. We did exploitation, that was trying to hack the system. Okay, then post exploitation. What was post exploitation we did was, who will tell me what post exploitation things we did? Ankush sir, what post exploitation things we did yesterday? Any idea?
No, sir.
Okay, Shivam sir, any idea?
What, sir?
We covered post exploitation as well yesterday. So what
Yeah.
was the thing we were doing in post exploitation?
Sir, Telnet?
Not ports. I am not asking the
Sorry, sorry.
ports. I am asking
Ports.
the post exploitation. Okay, Aman sir, can you tell me?
Sir, I'm not able to remember names.
Okay, so I'll tell you. See, exploitation was when we tried to hack into the system. Okay, post exploitation was when I was typing ls, when I was typing shell, when I was going into a directory, when I was coming from out of a directory. All those parts are the part of post exploitation. Okay, exploitation is when you hack into the system. After hacking the system, whatever you do in the system, that is known as post exploitation. Even we covered a little bit of privilege escalation as well. What we did,
Sir,
yeah.
sir, when I exploit it, when I type a ls and cd, that is a privilege escalation.
No. That is not privilege escalation. That is a part of post exploitation. Privilege escalation was when I typed shell. Okay, the moment I typed shell, there were additional things that went on, if you remember, onto the screen. And then I got a shell access of that particular machine. That is privilege escalation. Okay, when I hacked into the system, I went into a system like a normal user. But the moment when I typed shell, I escalated my privileges and now I got the root access of the system. Okay, that is privilege escalation. Always
So,
remember, privilege escalation is a part of post exploitation. Okay, whenever you hack into the system, then after you are conducting a privilege escalation, and that was a very small part. Okay, that part was very small. Privilege escalation showed you. In future, in coming days, we will be using some more tools to escalate the privileges. Okay, because this shell command doesn't work everywhere. Okay, it doesn't work everywhere. So at some point you'll have to type metapreta. At some point you'll have to type shell. At some point you'll additionally you'll have to use different tools to escalate the privileges. Okay, so that is the thing. So we covered three things. One was exploitation, post exploitation, and privilege escalation. Okay,
Excuse me, sir.
there were two more ports through which we'll
Excuse me,
be
sir.
getting the system. Yes.
Sir, when we were using Telnet, we didn't needed that escalation thing, right? So was it itself a privilege escalation or a basic? I mean, the basic one.
Yeah, it was itself a privilege escalation. See, what happens is some ports doesn't require you to escalate the privileges. Okay, some ports directly provide you the root user credentials or the root user permissions. Okay, so when we used Telnet, it was not needed. Okay, that particular thing was not needed. Okay, and when we went directly with the FTP, if you remember, FTP and then the IP address, with this command when we entered, we were not able to do certain things. Okay, permissions was not given to us. But when we used metasploitable, Metasploit, MSF console, and then when we went from FTP port, there we got a bundle of privileges. Okay, that was the part. Today we will be covering two more ports. Okay, one will be the SSH port. Although SSH port we have done, but we will be doing brute forcing as well today, and we will be going with the Samba port as well. Okay, two things we will be covering, and one more information I have for you guys. See, it might happen that till Monday I may be out of town. Okay, so there are chances that I might not be available for the class. So I'll make sure that Shashank sir is taking the class. Okay, so do cooperate with him. I got remarks of some of the interns that you are not able to understand completely what sir teaches, but still be with him. Okay, if you don't get things, so whenever I'll catch you back, so then you can ask me. Okay, I'll be helping you out. Okay, let's begin. I hope my screen is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, let's log into it. See, over here we know the credentials and that's the reason we get into it. But when we will be using different machines, there we won't be having the credentials with us. Okay. So at that particular point, we won't be able to log into the machine, and without logging into that machine, we have to hack that particular machine from our Kali and escalate the privileges. Okay, so I'll be telling you in the coming sessions when we'll be doing it. Okay. So let's go with the nmap directly. Nmap -a and then the IP address. And we'll be switching to next thing. Over here I'll start MSF console, and in the next tab I type search exploit. Okay, these were the tools we were using. So that it begin. Okay, so let's see where Samba is. Samba. Okay, here, see, we got two ports over here, 139 and one on 445. Okay, so these ports are the Samba ports, right? So if you take a closer look, see, over here it is 3 point something to 4 point something. So we are not clear with the version, what version we are having over here. So what we'll do is, it is loaded. We'll go to search exploit and we will just type simply Samba. Okay, we'll see. Just a second. Sorry. Search exploit. Yes. Okay, see, have a look. We have so many things over here, so many payloads. Okay, if you can count, so there are so many payloads, but what we are focused on is .rb extension, a payload with .rb extension. So see, this is a text file, this is a Python, this is shell. SH stands for shell, always remember. And SSH stands for secure shell. Okay, so remember these things. Okay, .rb we have, but it is for OS X, so it is not useful. Over here we have it for Linux. Okay, but if I check it over here, it is for more. Okay, it is something like remote buffer overflow something. Okay, then we have something for BSD 86 version 86, that is not useful. Linux version we have trans to open remote overflow something. So see, we are not able to figure out what thing we want. Yeah, simple. So what we'll do is we'll go to MSF console. I'll clear it. Over here we'll search the same thing. Okay, search Samba. Okay. Now we need to think about it. Okay, what we actually want for the Samba. Okay, let's see. Okay. See, over here these are auxiliaries. Auxiliaries is, always remember, auxiliary is a module which doesn't contain a payload. Okay, so if you see over here we have DOS things or something, but here we have scanners. Okay, so we'll go much downwards, and okay, we have something over here that is an exploit of Samba user map. Okay, so we'll be checking for this. Why we will be checking for this, I will be telling you this. See, what you can do is either you can directly run the scanner, okay, and check for the version, okay, firstly. But over here, if I take a closer look, I already have the version of this second port. Yeah, I already have it. So what I'll do is I'll simply go to search exploit, and here I will type, I'll clear it, I'll type search exploit Samba 3.0.20. Why this? Because see, I have this version running over here. Okay, so now if I press enter, see, I have got some things over here, but still, okay, we got a payload over here, .rb payload, which is command execution, and it stands for map script something. Okay, so I'll go back to my MSF console and I'll type the same thing over here. And now if I press enter, now over here I'll have to look for something similar with this particular payload. So over here, if I go, I'll have to check. Okay, see, I found it. Right, it is a script. I'll copy it. Over here, see, it was a script as well. Right. So now I'll use it. I'll clear the screen again. Use this script, enter. Now we have the gun. Okay, we have the bullet, but we need to load it up. So options. Okay, what we need is our port is already set. So again, let's check. Okay, this particular version is running on port 139. Okay, it's okay. Why it is okay? Because on both the ports we have Samba port running. If for example, see, 139 is already set up over here. Okay, if in any case there was any other service running over here, then we need to configure the port. Okay, we need to remove 139 over here, and we had to put 445 over here. But on this port itself, Samba service is running. Okay, so we need not to care. What we want is we had to specify the R host over here. So set R host, that is our target IP address 68.0.28. Enter. It is set. I'll check for it that it is up and running. Okay, it is running. Now again, just do one thing, show options, just to verify that everything is set. Okay, see, everything is set over here. Clear? Either you can type run or you can type exploit. Both will work. Okay, see, again we got a command session opened over here. If I do ls, okay, till this particular point I did exploitation, but the moment I typed ls, this part comes under post exploitation part. Okay, over here if I'll be going into any directory, I'll be coming out of any directory, that is post exploitation. For example, I'll go to cd home directory. If I do ls, see, this is all about post exploitation. If I get out of it, ls. Okay, now if I type shell, see, there were two things running over here. This is privilege escalation. Now if I do ls, see, I've got the root access. Clear? So is everything clear till this particular point, or do you have any problem? You can ask me. I am open for questions.
Sir, so basically this is all the step with the same FTP port, right?
No. This is not with the FTP port.
No,
it
sir.
is
The same procedure I'm saying. With
yes. Procedure is same. Yes, procedure is same. Just the exploit is different. Okay. See, over here I'm using the Samba exploit for Samba port. Okay. Over there I use the exploit for FTP. Clear? So the process is same, but the exploits are different. Clear? Okay, I think it is Ankush sir. Yes, Ankush sir.
Sir, Samba 3.0.20 are running on port number 445 and exploit are using on 139.
139, yes. Why? Because I already explained you. The reason was on 139 also we have the same Samba service running over here. Only we don't know the current version. That is the only difference. See, we don't know the current version, but still over here as well the version is starting from 3 point something. Okay, so on this particular port also we were using Samba service. If there was a case that on port 39 the service would have been different, in that particular point we had to set our target with 445. Okay, the moment we set our payload with that our host, in the same way we had to specify our port as well, but we won't change it because on port 39 also the same service is running. Okay, the only difference is over here we know exact version of the Samba service. Over here we don't know the exact version. This is the only difference. Clear? Okay, so I'll exit this session. I'll abort it. Okay. Clear. Now we will be working with the SSH port. Okay, I'll be telling you how to do brute forcing. Okay, over here on this particular port. So what we want is we now want to exploit the SSH port. So same thing, go to search exploit and type SSH. Okay, have a look. From here we have so many payloads for SSH, but still we are not able to figure out. See, how will you figure out what you want in this particular thing? There are a whole lot of payloads over here and we have additional things over here. Okay, except these payloads, we have additional things also. So it is very difficult to figure out our particular payload over here. So what we'll do is same thing, go over here and search SSH. Okay, now what we want is, see, as I told you that we need username or password when we go with the SSH port, but let's assume that we don't know what is the correct password. In that case, what we want is we will be getting to scan that particular port. We will be needing a scanner. and scanners are saved in the auxiliary part. So all the exploit modules are eradicated over here. Okay, over here only we are left with the auxiliary things, because we are clear that what we need is we need to scan that particular thing and we want our passwords. Okay, okay, over here now we will be have to looking things. Okay, see, this is a DOS, this is for Windows, so it is not useful. These are fuzzers, so we are not useful. Okay, we are left with 5 to 20. Okay, now we have to think which one to use over here. Okay, see, this is for Cisco Firepower, not useful. GitLab, not useful. Apache, not useful. Cerberus, not useful. Kippo, not useful. In the same way, we'll have to think. But over here, we have the SSH login scanner. What we want to log in from the SSH thing, and we want a scanner. Okay, so I'll copy it. Is this clear to you guys? Why I'm using this?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, I'll use, yeah. Now, same, we have the gun, we have the bullet, show options. Okay, but over here, see, as I said, that we need a password, we need a username, but we don't have both the things. So what we will be doing is we will be creating two files. First file will be pass file. This will be containing passwords. Another one will be user file. This will be containing the usernames. Okay, so we'll make two files on desktop. Okay, I'll switch to a new tab. Just go to desktop. Okay, and what you can do is you can nano usernames .txt. Okay, over here you can make a file. Okay, for example, if I open it, see, I already have it. Okay, I have already made this file days before. Okay, so I have already with the username txt and passwords.txt. So let's see. Over here I put some random numbers. Okay, some random usernames over here, and always remember that whenever you are doing a brute forcing, it is just for the testing purpose, but real brute forcing file is very big. Okay, it is literally very big, and you must have one correct username and password in that particular file. Okay, only then it will be able to brute force. Otherwise, it will take a whole lot of time to get the actual username and password. Okay, so what is a payload file, or what is this brute forcing file is? This is a file which is having different usernames. In the same way, the passwords.txt will be a file, okay, which will be having different types of passwords. Okay, and it will attempt all of them together. Okay, and it will get us the actual username. So over here I have this, and let's see what I have over here in the passwords file. I have different passwords over here, but I have the real password also. So I'll get out of here. Now just do pwd. Why pwd? To know the location of your file. Okay, coming back over here, we will be setting pass file first. Pass file, and it will be root desktop, and it will be for passwords, it will be passwords.txt. Till this point, do you have any doubt? You can ask me. No issues? Okay, so we have our passwords file. We also need the username file over here. So what we'll be doing is we'll change it to sorry. I'll change it to user underscore file, and over here I'll be naming it as usernames.txt. Okay, and we have our port running. Port 22 is on SSH. See, port 22 is for SSH. We will be configuring the our host. Okay, so our host is set our host's IP address of our target .0.28, and we will be doing one more thing. This is verbose. Okay, we will be putting it to true. Why? Because see, what verbose will do is it will also tell us the incorrect login credentials as well. Okay, at the end it will be telling us what are the actual user login credentials, but it will also tell us incorrect login credentials as well, so you can see how a payload file works. Okay, how brute force attack actually works in behind. Okay, so I'll set verbose to true. Okay, it is done. I'll clear it, show options, just to do a final check. Okay, see, 5 is the brute force speed and this is the maximum speed. Okay, all those things, it is not needed. These are not needed either. See, requirement is no. So all these are not needed over here. Right. It was not needed, but we specified because without this file, it won't work. Okay, IP address, this was needed, it was needed, all these things were needed. This was needed either. Okay, either you can type exploit or run. I type exploit over here. Let's see. See, this is how brute force attack works. So this was failed. These all credentials were failed. Have a look how these work. It is trying to get the correct username for us. See, I created a very small file, okay, and it is taking a whole lot of time over here. So just imagine how much time it would take when you have a very big file. Okay, so this is why sometimes it takes hours to crack username and password. Okay, see, we got a success over here. So what we can do is we can type Control C and we can stop it further because we don't want to test it further. We've got the success. So this is the username and credentials. Okay, now look, command shell session 2 is already opened for us. Okay, so we need not to go with SSH and we need not to type the username and password. What we'll do is we'll type sessions, enter. See, we already have a session over here which is SSH, okay, on this particular IP. Okay, and we have MSF admin running over here. So what we'll do is we'll simply clear it. I type sessions. See, now I type sessions -i. -i stands for ID. ID over here is 2 because I am using this particular session only, and this is will get the shell access. That is the privileges would be escalated by itself. And I'll type 2, enter. See, it is starting. Now let's see. Okay, I've got into the system. I've got the file over here. CD vulnerable ls. I've got all the things over here. Right? Clear. Okay, this won't work. Okay, always remember that your clear command won't work whenever you'll hack into a system. Okay. In this way, you have hacked a complete system. Clear? So this is how to attack SSH port, and over here we have completed your brute force and password cracking things also. Okay, we have cracked the password by using brute force attack. So if I type Control C, it will ask me to abort session. Yes, and I am out of this particular machine. So till here, if you have any doubt, you can ask me.
Excuse
I
me,
am
sir.
open. Yeah.
So basically, brute force was doing is it was trying different permutations and different combinations, right?
Yes.
And so it was possible because we had a correct password and a username in our file, right?
Yes.
So the main question is this whole purpose of doing it was to get the correct password and correct username.
Yes.
But if we don't know it, then how are you creating that file?
Okay, when we don't know it, we'll be using a word list. Okay, we'll be using a different word list. See, I have a downloaded word list with me. You can download it in your Kali as well. Go to Google and just type download rocku.txt. Okay, download this particular file. This is a word list. Okay, this is a very popular word list, and it is really, really very huge.
Already
Okay.
available in Kali Linux.
No, 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 sir. It is not. I am talking about RawQ. It is not already available over there. Different word lists are available that I know. Okay, different word lists are pre-available over there, but not RawQ.txt. It is not available over there. Okay, so you need to download it. Why I'm telling it? Because it is a very, very popular word list, and in more than 50 to 60% cases it is helpful. Okay, so let me show you this word list. See, it is having so many passwords, so many combinations with it. Right? So this is what will be helping us. See, we have different combinations over here of passwords, and it really helps us, okay, to crack the passwords via brute forcing. So you can imagine how long this whole word list is. Okay. So when we don't know anything, we'll be using different word list. Okay, here we created our word list just for testing purpose. I created it just to teach you how brute forcing attack works in reality. Okay, but it takes sometimes hours to crack. Okay, anyone else? No questions? Okay.
No, sir.
Yeah. So your task for today is you'll have to practice this thing. Okay, and the task name is exploitation as usual. Okay, and
Could you please repeat the verbose thing? I didn't follow it
yes,
well.
yes, yes. See, verbose was where it told us how brute forcing works in reality. Although I have just closed the session, but what verbose gave us, verbose also told us what are the incorrect combinations. Okay, it gave us the actual combination at last, but still it gives us all the different failed combinations as well. Okay, so uh, I just used verbose to tell you guys how to show you how the password cracking brute forcing attack really works. Okay, how it looks. Okay, that was my motive. Okay, if you leave the verbose things also, it will work the same way.
So what is the command for it?
Same, set verbose equal to true.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so
Sir,
the
what was the session command, like session dash I or
session
what?
was session dash I. It was session dash I. See, firstly, as it told us that we have already a session open. So I typed session command to check what session is open. Okay, then to use this session, I typed session. It was hyphen I. I stands for ID, and then the number of that particular ID. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now see, the topic's name was exploitation, and your task is to practice these two ports, Samba port and the SSH port. Okay, and I think tomorrow the class will be taken by Shashank sir. Okay, so please do cooperate in. So if ma'am, have you taken the attendance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can stay or else you can leave. Thank you.
So the attendance form link is not accessible to us.
Okay, ma'am, can you check it?
Ma'am
Yes,
has
sir.
sent
I was
new
also
form.
trying, but it's not opening. New one also. I have also tried.
Okay,
Please, sir, you can try.
that's the reason you were asking me to open it.
Yes, sir. I thought that
Okay,
it's
okay,
not opening only in my laptop.
just a second, I'll check. Okay, we are sorry you can't access this term because it is in violation. Okay, so ma'am, do one thing, please report Riya ma'am or Kanika ma'am that it is not working fine.
Yes, sir. I've already reported. Don't worry.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So interns, you will get a new link, I guess, by today evening. Okay, it's already evening.
Sir,
So by
Riya ma'am
8, I
already
guess.
sent about it in group.
Okay,
भाई नई वाली
Sir,
लिंक ही देख
new
रहा हूँ.
one.
no,
Yes,
there
sir.
is
New
nothing
one.
over.
Yes, sir. New form is not opening.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. The new form is not opening. So I think you will be getting a new form by 8 or in a few hours, I guess. Okay, so do fill it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so if you have any questions, you can stay or else you can leave. Thank you.